Good afternoon, y'all. It's your boy AB here. Another episode of From Nothing to Something. I want to thank everybody who was here today watching this. I want to thank everybody for your likes, for your shares, for all your support. We're getting a lot of feedback. I want to thank those people that are sponsoring this video. I want to thank Cali Smoke Shop more than anything because they have everything you need. If they don't have it, they will get it for you. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. I don't do any of that. But I do enjoy a real good cigar. And I want to thank those people that are always out there going above and beyond to keep their customers, all their customers happy. And this one's for you, Cali Smoke Shop in Fresno, California. Thank you very much. And let's get into this, okay? I want to talk about some things that are going on in the US right now that are affecting everybody, okay? Everybody's being affected by this. Businesses, big, small, it's affecting people, the way they think, the way they view life. There's a lot of skepticism going around. There's a lot of fear going around. A lot of people don't want to make moves right now because they're afraid, okay? Now, I want to talk a little bit about the raids that are going on. It's inevitable that I was going to talk about it. I don't like getting into politics. I myself am not a political person. I do not like politics. I don't like getting involved in politics, but I have to because it's what is going to either make or break your business. You need to have knowledge on what's going on around you in order for you to make certain investments or not. So you got to be somewhat aware. Okay, follow the money. That's what they say, right? Follow the money. The government shut down. Okay, the government shut down. The only reason why I'm talking about this, I swore to you guys I wasn't gonna get into politics, and I don't mean to get into politics, but the only reason why I'm talking about this right now is because it's affecting our work. It's affecting our businesses. It's affecting our decision-making process enough to where it's embedding fear in everybody out there. Everybody's looking at the economy. Look how shitty the economy is. The government shut down. You don't have certain resources. You're afraid of what's coming. There, we have a turf war going on with China. Your stocks are going down. Everybody's afraid of investing. And a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the economy. A lot of it has to do with what's going on with the government being shut down. And a lot of it has to do with all the raids that are going on. It's affecting everybody, legally or them who are here legally, and also those who are here illegally. And I say illegally, right? I'm just using the terms that you hear a lot on TV so you guys can have something to relate to me with, okay? How is this affecting people? Everybody's afraid of investing right now. A lot of people are afraid of going out there. Here in California, it's tough finding jobs out there, okay? We always had people to go out there and do jobs for a way cheaper price. Do it for cash. And they'll get Juan, Jose, and Pedro, and everybody out there with the pick and the shovel, and some way or another, even if it was with the wheelbarrow, but they'll get concrete into your backyard. It doesn't matter how it gets there. It looks nice. I'm not bashing on those people. Okay? They do good work. They do it very cheap. It might benefit you, it might not. It's not benefiting those people who are out there that have a contractor's license, okay? Like myself. I have a general engineering, a general building, okay? I'm getting my real estate here pretty soon. I'm gonna become a real estate developer. I'm on my way, okay? So how is this affecting us? It's affecting us. We can't find workers out there, man. We cannot find workers out there. It's hard. A lot of people are afraid of going out. A lot of people are afraid of going to the stores. Stores are suffering. We'll be willing to pick up the tab if prices go up so that we can obtain whatever it is that we need to survive. Okay? But it's not the prices of the store that is killing us. It's the fear of what's going to happen from the time you leave your safe space, your house, whatever it is, to the time that you get to the store to buy whatever it is that you need. That is what really matters. That is what has people scared. Okay? What's not helping, one of the things that is not helping, before I say this, I want to go back a little bit in time to when I got to Northern California. Even in SoCal, when I lived in SoCal, I remember there was protest. There was a lot of protest. All right. And these protests, a lot of times they didn't evolve into these riots that we have going on nowadays. Back then, people used to respect us. Why? It wasn't hard to get 100,000 people in the corner in LA. I don't remember the cross streets, man. I was a little kid. I just remember seeing a lot of people. I had to share a stroller with my two younger twin sisters. All right. And now, even up here in the north, in San Jose, we used to meet up on Story and King. Those people who live in NorCal, Northern California, you guys can probably relate to me, right? But in the late 90s, early 2000s, as far as I can remember, I had just got back from Texas. I used to live in Houston. And I remember they used to organize these, they used to call them marchas, these marches on Story and King in San Jose. This is back in the day before they even had the Walgreens and the Target there. They used to have Newberry's, and they had a whole bunch of little stores. They had a 7-Eleven where the Pollo Loco is right now. It was a different world, right? But they used to have these marches, peaceful protest, these marches where thousands of Latinos used to get together and walk from Story and King all the way downtown. I can't remember how far, but downtown. We used to walk from Story and King, down King to Santa Clara, and then used to make a left-hand turn and go all the way downtown, make our voices heard peacefully. I remember the cops used to close down the streets because they said, oh, there's a protest. Okay? And we used to make our voices heard because of those protests. Because I remember people used to say, these people, all they want to do is work. Look how peaceful they are. Everybody has had this talk before you leave your house. In Mexico, Guatemala, wherever it is that you're from, Honduras, Panama, South America, Cuba, Dominican Republic, everybody has had this talk with their loved ones before. And their loved ones they have always said that it's not gonna be easy. There's gonna be times of hunger. There's gonna be times where you're not gonna have a dime in your pocket. You might have to sleep on the street. Everybody comes over here expecting that. That was pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, it was like that. What happened? I don't know. COVID got everybody all messed up in the head. Insane in the main brain. And now everybody thinks they can come over here and act the fool and expect to change people. let me tell you something, man. All you're doing is pissing everybody off. Everybody hates Donald Trump until you get your citizenship or your papers. Then all of a sudden you're out there, Latinos for Trump. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm for whatever works. I'll tell you what. Going out there and protesting the way. Protesting, right? Peaceful protest. Going out there and rioting. I'm gonna call it what it is. Rioting the way everybody's been doing. You think that's gonna leave people with a good impression about us? You think that's gonna make them say, you know what? Maybe we should give them reform. No, why? Because we're worse than the freaking George Floyd riots. We're worse than the LA riots that I lived through. I lived through the LA riots. I used to live in Watts when they happened. Might have been a kid, but I remember. Now, going out there, I'm not saying don't make your voices heard. There's a way to do it. And the way it's happening, it's not the right way. Okay? I wasn't born in this country. I'm from Guadalajara, Mexico, Jalisco. But I came here and I did the right thing. I joined the military. Even though I might have had some hard times and I might have acted a fool when I was in high school or whatever, I got my act straight. I joined the military. I went to college. I became a civil engineer. I work a full-time construction job right now. Heavy equipment operator. I started as a laborer doing concrete for JJ Albany's. Doing paving for JJ, doing demolition. As a laborer, go out there and pick up trash and sticks, getting paid $17 an hour. This was back in the day. I remember when you used to go to the gas pumps and the gallons on those old pumps, the gallons used to spin faster than the price. You used to get to a gallon before you got to $1. I remember those days. My brother Gustavo showed me those days. And I'll never forget. It's the only reason why I paid attention. All right? We did everything differently. We didn't go out there and disrespect the agencies that we were going to walk in the door someday and ask for their help. Who do you think you're destroying? Who do you think you're messing with? You think you're gonna get the message across? All you're gonna do is piss off the government even more, and they're gonna wanna get you out even more. Those people who have their papers in line, who have been waiting 10 years and they're about to get their papers. I know 2 people that are getting them denied right now. Why? Because they don't see whether you're protesting or not, rioting or not. They see Hispanic, Latino, pa' fuera. You're not making anybody look good. We're better than that. As a people, we're way better than that. We are way better than the George Floyd riots. Us as Latinos, Hispanics, me as a Mexican, okay? If you get shot by the cops for going on a high-speed chase while shooting at them, I've learned not to be happy for situations like that, even though you deserved every ounce of lead that went in your body for doing the wrong thing, the reason why I don't rejoice for that type of stuff is because in my eyes, I could be like, oh, that pendejo deserved it. But what do you think God's saying? It's not a win for God. You might be happy because you're getting rid of bad people here in this world. But how does God see it? I wish I could have got a hold of him. He could have changed his ways before he had to lose his soul. It's another soul lost. I heard it preaching. I'm not perfect, okay? I drink, okay? I smoke cigars, okay? I'm not preaching. I'm not a preacher, okay? I'm just simply out there struggling like every single one of you. Okay, but I heard a preaching. And this preaching said, you see pictures of Jesus with the lamb, crying, extending his arms. A sissified Jesus. Do you think God needs you? Estás bien mal, vale. You need God. Now, I'm not the perfect example, but I don't forget who I am and where I come from. I give thanks to God. It's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, and I have gratitude for being here in the United States, for having the opportunities that I have, because you know what? I'm not gonna have these opportunities in Jalisco. Go out there in Jalisco and fly the American flag and start throwing rocks at a Mexican federal building, see what happens to you. A lot of us forgot, man. A lot of us forgot. We used to, when George Bush became president, they used to have all these marches. And we got the message out. Why? Because we used to gather as a people and walk the streets. Let our voices be heard. We used to stage these walkouts where we used to make them feel what it was like. They even made a movie about it, A Day Without a Mexican. Okay? Nowadays, it's like a day without a Mexican because your fucking business is shut down because it's burnt down, or because there's rioting outside, or because your life is in danger. You see how the times are different now? No manches, vale. Get your fucking act straight. Get your act straight. It pisses me off that I'm out here doing the right thing and I'm being labeled like everybody else. Fuck, look at me. I shaved my fucking head. I'm wearing an LA hat. I got a rose tattooed on my hand. I'm full of tattoos. I fit the description of people that they are trying to get rid of right now. But back in the day, we used to fit the description of, you know what? Tattoos don't matter because he's a hard worker. He's just expressing himself. He's just expressing himself. Nowadays, it's way different. You're not only affecting your well-being, you're not getting any message across, but I'll tell you what, more than anything, all you're doing is pissing the wrong people off. Learn a little bit of history. Find out why it is that they're trying to do all these things. You're gonna be surprised to find out that slaves are always needed. The Israelites, the Jews, the Japanese, the Irish, the blacks. Guess what? Now it's our turn. Now it's our turn to be slaves. And we're not gonna prove anything by going out there and rioting. Why don't we prove to them that we're better than that? That we come here and we try to serve a purpose. Why don't we do that? And you're canning it for everybody. Everybody's labeled right now. If your skin's brown, you're labeled. Whatever happened to, yeah, he might drink. George Lopez used to say, well, you could pay him with the 12 pack and you could do this and you could do that. You know what? It doesn't matter. Because we used to work hard and get the job done for a 12 pack and for a day's worth of work. Nowadays, me as a contractor, trust me, I know. A union labor makes $35 an hour, okay? And he's got to use his own gas. He's got to use his own gas. And he's got to drive everywhere. He's got to make his own lunch. He's got to buy his boots, his vest. He's got to buy everything. Go to Home Depot and try to hire somebody for less than $300, and you got to buy them food. You got to take them there, and you got to provide everything. No mames, vale. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't been there. I have been there. My brothers used to come home and I used to take off their boots, give them back massages, and have a cold lemonade waiting for them when they got home. I want one of them to put a comment on here and say, no, that's not true. I used to help them get their lunch belt out of their truck. And every Friday, I was washing their car or truck. You think I don't know what it's like to watch those people that are taking care of me come dead tired from a long day's worth of work? I have done it. I used to come home and fall asleep on the driveway, wake up 3 hours later in the hot sun. Because I'm so tired. I had just enough energy to drive home, and I don't have the energy to get off my car and go inside the house so I can get some rest. I've worked for free. I've worked for free for a person that said, I want you to prove yourself. Nearly gave me a heat stroke one day. Because he said, oh, well, if you can't prove, and guess what? I wasn't even back the next day. That is what Latinos, that is what we do. We are known for working hard. We'll do anything. Well, right, what are they saying right now? Who's gonna pick the fruits? Who's gonna pick this and who's gonna pick that? I'll tell you what, I know people that work in the fields, in Gilroy and in Hollister. And you ask them right now, hey, what do you think about everything that's going on? Do you think they're helping you? Oh man, I can't repeat the things that they are saying because I'm gonna offend somebody, man. Chinguen a su madre. They're making us look bad. That's what they're saying. Yep. We don't need them. We don't need them to riot to prove a point. We know they're here. How? The government shut down. Certain agencies are closed, not because of the shutdown or whatever, but because the buildings burned down. Get it together. Get it together. The more damage we do, the worse we look, the less of a chance we have of becoming anything. Now remember, I am not a Republican, I am not a Democrat. I do remember a few years ago when they were going to pass an amnesty starting with the Dreamers, and they said, we're going to give all the Dreamers papers as long as they pass a criminal background check. And somebody said, I want you guys to do your homework. Somebody said either you give everybody papers, even those people that are in prison, rapists, child molesters, whatever it is. Either you give everybody papers or nobody gets them. Do your homework. All this. I was driving down my city the other day. I'm a disabled veteran. I have disabled veteran license plates. I'm driving down the road and I'm watching the protest and I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, it's a peaceful protest. And some guy standing on the side of the road. I have witnesses. Some guy standing on the side of the road. He tells me, hey, roll your window down. And I roll my window down. He goes, I want you to honk for us. And I'm like, not gonna honk, man. And you guys are doing good, bro. You know, you're protesting peacefully. And then he goes, fuck you then. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. And then he starts telling the people next to him, I'm stuck at a red light in front of AutoZone by the bridge next to the park where they were protesting. He starts telling the other people, he's a sellout. He's a sellout. I was like, man, some things I just can't say. Everything was good till you started calling me a sellout for not wanting to honk. Everything was good until I didn't want to participate in whatever it is that you had going on. It doesn't mean I'm not supporting you. I support the cause. I just don't support the disrespect to me, to my surroundings, to my buildings. Why? Because I know that people depend on those jobs. Look what happened on the George Floyd riots. They burnt down so many businesses, so many buildings. A month later, a lot of those businesses is like, well, we can't open back up because insurances, it's burnt down. Sorry, man, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. We didn't learn from that shit. Now we're the ones out there doing it. It affects people's businesses. It affects people's daily lives, family, well-being, moral values. It affects you as a people altogether. I swore not to get political. I swore not to get political. You see my shirt back there? Yeah, I support Charlie Kirk. Yes, I support Donald Trump. Okay? I may not agree with everything, but it's enough for me to benefit from it. Now, if it doesn't benefit you, I don't give a damn. You know why? Because it's not my job to feed you. It's my job to go out there and get a job so I can feed my family and pay my bills. It's not my job to go over there and work my ass off so you can get a handout. Screw you. Work for what you have. Work for what you have. I don't support all the deportations, but you know what? If they're gonna get child molesters out, rapists, you know what? Not everybody's like that. I was upset when Donald Trump said, I was really upset, okay, when Donald Trump said, Mexico sends us the worst, and they send us this, and they send us that. I was really pissed off. As a matter of fact, I was working at Stanford, the new Stanford Medical Center in Redwood City, and I was listening to the impeachment trial on the radio. And that's when that's when everything started changing. Okay, everything started changing when I was listening to that impeachment trial. I did my homework. Okay. And then someone tells me at work, he goes, well, are you a rapist? No. Are you a child molester? No. So why are you getting offended? I said, fuck. You know what? You're right, bro. I served the military. I was currently going to San Jose State. I'm not a criminal. Why should I get offended? Oh, but Donald Trump is what are they calling him? A pedophile. My dad got with my mom. He was 19 and my mom was 13. I want most Mexicans out there that were born in the 80s and below. I want every single one of you to write in the comments that your dad isn't a pedophile for getting with your mom while she was underage. You know what? It was the thing to do back in the days. You were 25 and you go to your compadre's house and you say, you know what? I want your daughter. I'll give you this much land. She was underage. I'm not defending anybody, man. Just all these people that are going out there saying, oh, he's a pedophile. You know what? If that's the case, that means that my dad is a pedophile. I married my wife just after she turned 18. But I was with her. I was deployed to Hurricane Katrina relief. When I went home, just after airborne school, my brother went and picked her up without knowing that she was gonna go to his house to live because I was there on R&R. But she was underage when I was dating her. Call me a fucking pedophile. No mames. I'm getting pissed off. But the point of all this is, if you think you're getting the message across by doing all the dumb shit that you're doing right now, the only message that you're getting across is how much less you want people to like us. Okay? That's the one thing. And then two, you're messing it up for everybody else who's doing the right thing. How about you start doing the right thing? The moment you start doing the right thing, maybe we're gonna be liked again. So right now, nobody likes us. And every day I watch videos that just prove me right every single time why. If we're gonna come together as a people, we need to do it the right way, the way we used to, with our voices, not with rocks. It's your boy AB from Nothing to Something. I'm not ranting, but we are here to better each other as a people, as entrepreneurs, as a world altogether. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Que Dios me los bendiga. Peace.